Oh, this is exciting. Who am I? A dedicated listener. What am I here for? To evaluate your speech.
Somebody heard.
In speaking briefly with Bud before, I'd asked what your objectives were. And your primary objective was to inspire, to connect with the audience, to encourage them to live their lives different, to embrace your message, whether that's through your leadership capabilities or through coaching experience, but be able to connect in a way that would help them grow their lives professionally and personally. And I think the way that you came up here with such confidence, when you're looking to inspire people, you drew everybody in. And I thought that was great. You are a very confident person, so that doesn't surprise me that you did that so well. I think also when you're looking to inspire people, you had a few questions where you asked the audience to say I, and it was like kind of fast to where I was like, what was the question? And I was a little bit late to saying I. So I was like, okay, and I love the buildup and the suspense of the 2 questions. 2 questions is all you need. 2 questions is all you need. So it's kind of like we were on this journey, on this ride with you, which I thought was great because I'm waiting suspensefully for what the questions are so that I can apply them. So midway through you do that, which I think is great. Some areas that I would maybe encourage or challenge is when you're looking to engage the entire audience, I think you did a great job at pointing out certain people that you use relatable terms. For anybody in here that does training, adult principles, transitions, that was very relatable. I was like, oh, I got it. You know, I'm understanding, I'm jiving with you, I'm connecting with you. As you're looking to connect with an entire audience, one recommendation I might say is to ask questions that maybe get people on your journey. I felt like you referred to a river of life, but maybe start with a question like, how many of you have heard of the term up a creek with no paddle? Show of hands. Kind of gauge your audience to see, okay, and then maybe use your 2 questions as the paddles. Kind of build on a story, like use an analogy, so people are like, I get it. So maybe 1 paddle is who am I? But who am I? Give people an opportunity to kind of explore who they are and offer up suggestions of maybe books or resources or something that's really helped you to develop who you are and why you're up here giving this speech and encouraging people to be inspired in their lives. So that would be one suggestion I would have. Also, when we talk about the intro, I think you did a great point at the very beginning of saying to engage the audience with your intro, using humor to get people engaged. I think it was great. Kind of left, you know, it's very cold in here, so it got everybody kind of warmed up and prepared for that. But I would also use the intro as your professional platform, because I think that we all know you're a professional speaker, you've done many of these, and I would use that as your leadership resume. As somebody's giving your intro, so as you're building credibility, as you're coming up here, encouraging to inspire others. So that would be maybe one thing I would use also in your intro, is kind of utilize that as your professional leadership resume. And at the I think I kind of already said this, so not to repeat it, but just again, I think it would have been great to kind of tie it all up with a big bow if it would have ended with a story. Or why we're on this river, why now we have these paddles, how we're pushing to get to someplace that we need to go, to just kind of take us and just, you know, wrap it in so we know where we're going. So we're not just on this river, you know, kind of paddling away, because I think we can all appreciate that we've been there, we've done that. So why do we want to do this? Why do we want to take this message? Why are we going to be promoted to kind of go back and think, who am I? What do I want to do? Why am I here? But overall, I mean, Bud, you're an absolute joy to listen to. You're infectious when you're up here. I can't help, even when I was writing, I noticed that you were like projecting. So I love that you have great presence of understanding and appreciating and intaking from others. So overall, excellent job. Very good.